You are watching TFI.
Hello and welcome to Unprofessional Engineering. My name is James.
And you got Luke.
Luke, we're joined by a favorite of our listeners. We've had people email in and say our Neil Cross episodes are their favorite.
Really?
Yeah. So you're pretty important.
It's what's worth coming to Vegas just for that.
That's what I figured was the whole reason you came. You're here as part of, or all of, TFI CAD Tips?
Yes.
That's pretty exciting.
Yes.
Yes. Well, we're really happy to have you back again this year.
I'm delighted to be back.
Delighted. So before we get into all of the great hard-hitting questions that we have, we decided that since you've been so intimately involved with Autodesk over the years, maybe we would play our fun little Autodesk trivia game with you.
Ready?
Sounds okay.
You ready?
He's rolling right into it.
Oh, straight. Okay.
Who is considered to be the founder of Autodesk, along with roughly 17 of his friends?
John Walker.
Very good. Did you know he also makes a good whiskey?
It's not the same guy, is it?
No. No.
It's a loose reference.
Most everything I say is a lie.
Right.
So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Or it was on Wikipedia.
Or it was on Wikipedia. I did Johnny Walker, and it just...
Of course. Yeah, I'm not a big drinker, so
Okay.
yeah.
What was Autodesk originally named?
Marin Software Partners.
Oh,
You did not know that ahead of time,
You
did
I did. I'll tell you why. Because about a year ago, I was going to do a history of Autodesk video, and I
Okay.
researched all this. Mike Riddle, the original founder of
Yep.
AutoCAD, and the backwards and forwards that went back in the day, compiled loads of it, and I never got around to doing it. So
Okay.
So I'm going to give him a bonus one because I think he's the only person that would be interested in the one that you made me clip.
Okay.
Is that okay?
You can leave it in.
So how about this? Who lived downstairs from Autodesk CFO Al Green in Sausalito when Autodesk went into an IPO? He also joined to celebrate Autodesk's first $1 million year. I just found this very interesting. Not that anyone should actually know it.
who lived downstairs?
Hunter S. Thompson.
Who's that?
You don't know Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? Nothing? Ugh. You're all
Is this
the
an
worst.
American thing?
No,
I
it's
guess
not, because
so.
I had no idea what he was talking about
I
either.
don't know how nobody knows this stuff.
That's not included in the question set.
It is not.
I forbid it.
Okay.
What were the project names of AutoCAD R9, 10, and 11?
Abbey Road, Let It Be, and the White something.
Yeah, the
The
White
White
Album.
Album.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Already.
What company was acquired where the future CEO of Autodesk, Carl Bass, worked?
Oh,
That is not.
which
the
year
answer.
was that in?
Oh, I have no
I
idea.
don't know. Before I was
You're
around.
asking the questions.
No, we're terrible at this.
Discrete. No, it's not discrete. I pass.
Ithaca Software.
You better know this one. What was the project name under which Autodesk Inventor launched way back in 2019?
I would have to.
What, 2019? Whoa.
Yeah, I would have to. Rubicon.
Rubicon.
Yeah.
What was Rubicon? What was the predecessor to Inventor?
Mechanical
Oh,
desktop.
very good.
But it wasn't really a
question was
predecessor.
that?
I was adding it.
Is it a predecessor? Because it was a
Well.
different. Inventor was from the ground up. Mechanical desktop was a completely different product line, so it kind of
And really good.
superseded it, but it
Okay.
wasn't
Okay.
Really good
semantics.
and really popular.
Yeah.
What is the most popular STEM podcast run by Autodesk employees?
It's on the tip of my tongue. Unprofessional engineering.
Oh, there we go.
He's really killing
Okay,
it.
lightning
Shameless.
round, all about acquisitions. What building technology company was acquired in 2002?
Revit.
What was acquired in 2006 with the FBX file format?
Alias.
Did you actually know that?
Yes, because I was in the channel then, and I remember it happening.
Okay.
Often considered the greatest acquisition of all time by Autodesk, this simulation company was acquired on December 17th, 2008.
Algo.
That is perfect. See, everybody
I was
knows this.
I was in the channel then. I remember it all.
I literally want to punch.
Because it was the
both
American.
of you.
There was the vice president of America was called Al Gore at the
He
time.
was, well, not at the time,
Was it
but
not?
at some
But
point.
He
yes.
was in the news a lot
He
at the time,
was.
and I was so confused.
Why did we
Didn't
buy
get
that guy?
We invented the internet. So.
You did. Well, it makes sense. In 2011, what website and platform where users can share their ideas and DIY projects was acquired?
Which year?
2011. Carl Bash used to wear a T-shirt with it on it all
Pass.
the time.
Instructables.
No.
Didn't he wear an Instructable shirt a
He
lot?
did all the time.
Yeah.
What giant acquisition went down in 2014 of the UK-based advanced
You need to know this
CAD/CAM
one.
software?
Delcam.
Okay.
Well done. All right, so that was pretty okay.
That wasn't bad.
I mean, nobody's come anywhere near those AutoCAD project names, so I'm very impressed that you knew that off the
Yeah.
top of your head.
Top of your head.
Very impressive.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. Who would have thought? So this is your second year in a row with us at Autodesk University.
Indeed it is.
So that's pretty exciting. And we actually talked the year before that on the podcast,
Yeah.
but over the interwebs, as the kids call it. So welcome back to Autodesk University, and thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
So you've clearly finally made it to the big time, right? So
You've been on our show twice.
Yeah.
Oh, if that's the metric, then yes.
Yes.
so that's not a question. That's just for you to reflect on later
it's
on
a statement
tonight.
for you to feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you feel good about yourself now?
I've made it.
Okay,
I
good.
can retire now.
So AU is always a struggle for the Brits, right? You have to fly over here. There's the time change.
Yeah, it's
We
the
don't
worst.
have like tea and crumpets. Like, it's no good. Did it go okay for you so far?
So far, yes. The jet lag smashed me in the face yesterday.
Did it?
Big time. Struggled quite a bit. And then you get over the jet lag, and then there's just a couple of days left, and then you're thinking about going
Then
back.
you go back.
So, yeah, and the weather's been okay. It's raining today.
Did you go outside?
Yeah.
I didn't think they'd
that's
let us
neat.
out.
I didn't
They
think
didn't
so
let- they
either.
don't
I
let
know
us
some
out.
people come here and they never actually leave the building, but
That's me.
no, I
Yeah.
like to walk up to the Bellagio because that place is just on another level.
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah, I stayed in the Bellagio the first time I came over here. It was a bucket list. Watched Ocean's 11 while staying in the Bellagio. It's just instant just bucket list tick.
That's pretty
That
sweet.
was awesome.
Oh, I love it.
So James said he noticed at the Inventor PM panel
I did
that
notice
every
this.
time you got near the microphone, there was someone with a tranquilizer gun in the back that was getting ready to shoot you in the neck, just to kind of subdue you in case you got out of control. Why do you think that is?
I just don't think they're like my face.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah.
You're a handsome man.
Well, not today. I'm showing signs of aging and
Well,
sleep deprivation.
This is
alcohol
true.
consumption, maybe.
Yeah.
You're just being late.
Yeah. No, we get on. Me and the PMs get on very well. We've had a turbulent relationship over the years just due to my shouting and bawling at them quite a bit. But
I would say it's your
Probably.
honesty. I think a lot of people they temper what they say sometimes. And you're not a person who tempers what they say much.
no. But I've said to them, though, over the years, when the channel got started 6 years ago, there was a lot to shout about. But recently, there's not been too much. They've been very well behaved. Things have been pretty good.
They're finally doing their job.
Yeah. Yes.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. Because I yell at them all the time.
You
Like,
do.
you need to do your job so Neil doesn't get mad. That's what I say.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how
That's
it goes. All right, so I commented on this earlier, and I know that you're pretty flexible, so maybe you can show them off. You have some amazing shoes that appear to be 3D printed.
I think they are. I'm not too sure. But is this for the visual users?
Yeah, don't hurt yourself.
Look at those people. Oh,
There goes his
Those-
hamstring.
That could have ended badly.
those things are amazing. Where did you pick them up?
Medic. They're just. Are we allowed to brand drop, or do you need a
Oh,
Oh,
sponsorship?
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, man.
Maybe
Great
they'll
idea.
sponsor us.
Let's hear it.
How do you guys say Adidas, but it's Adidas?
Adidas.
Yes, because the
Yeah.
founder was Adi Dazzler.
We did a whole
and,
episode
and his
on
brother
this.
owns, and his brother did Puma.
Of course you did. Of course you did. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we know all this.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, if anyone wants to look at the Alpha Edge 4D, is what they're called.
Alpha
Okay.
Edge 4D.
Alpha Edge 4D. I saw a YouTuber wearing them, and I thought I need them in my life.
Those are pretty sweet.
So,
So Adidas, if you want to sponsor us, feel free to reach out.
They look
just
great
send us
on
some
camera.
Shoes.
so how much did those things cost? If you don't mind sharing, and you won't be embarrassed by the cost.
North of
Fast.
$200.
Dollars or
Well,
or
250 English pounds.
quid or pence?
250 quid.
A lot of quids.
I really hope the wife doesn't watch this.
There's so
She doesn't know.
so many quids. Remember when we were talking to someone, Chi on our team, and she kept saying quids, and we were like,
It's not
what the
quids.
heck's a quid?
It's quid.
Quid.
Yeah, even plural is still quid.
It's still quid. Quid is the
Yeah.
plural of quid.
It's just quid. It's like sheep. There's no sheeps.
Okay.
Just sheep.
Okay. So
Quids.
continuing on with knowing more about Neil, you have been a part of the Expert Elite program for how many years now?
About 4 years, I think.
Okay. So describe quickly, those that maybe don't know what that program is, and you informed us you don't choose to be Expert Elite. So could you describe that?
So yeah, it's been an amazing program. It's managed by Katinka, who's done a phenomenal job over the years. The program is a nomination-based program where people who have contributed above and beyond to the Autodesk community are nominated to be part of the program.
Okay.
And as part of the program, when you're not at Autodesk University, you get invited onto special webinars, monthly webinars, where you can chat with people at Autodesk and you can ask questions and whatnot. You get special forum badges and you can use little icons and stuff like that. But for someone who's not in the Autodesk space, one of the best benefits for me, which has been in fact, my channel could not have happened without it, is you get access to Autodesk licenses.
Okay.
So I get all the Autodesk licenses on an NFR basis, but it allows me to keep up to date on other bits and pieces that are going on. My Inventor license that I use for all the videos, that's all through the Expert Elite program. So you can use the software to keep yourself current, learn bits and pieces to then educate others.
And this is totally separate from the beta.
Totally separate, completely unrelated.
So this is you in your spare time on the forum, answering questions, engaging, helping people understand workflows and functionality, right?
Different people are invited in for different reasons. So a lot of the guys and girls who are in the program have got through from the forums, like just exceptionally high post rates and solution rates. Other people's from blog sites. For me, it was because of the YouTube work. I'd done the YouTube for around 2 years to that point, and then I was invited in. And yeah, it could be someone doing like local events in their area, helping others out. Just someone that stands out and then is invited onto the program. And then once you're over here at AU, you get swag. You get an Expert Elite bag.
Sweet seating too, don't you?
Yeah. Front row seats for the keynote speech.
Nice.
I could see Andrew's prompter.
Nice.
Which was nice. I saw your interview yesterday with Andrew, and it was quite funny because I was watching him on the keynote stage. And he was talking about Disney. He was a point where he was saying he was going to Disney. And I was looking at the prompter because I've always seen these people do these keynote speeches, and I think, how did they remember all of their words? And they're so fluent. And then I looked and there's two TVs here. And then at one point, he just went completely off script. Yeah. And I could see the prompter, whoever was running the prompter was just like, this shaky panic stop on the prompter, and I started to wind back.
Jerk, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I've never actually, until today, sat close enough to see the prompters, but I was just amazed watching it, like start to speed up and then slowly start to crawl by. It's great.
He's a great job. Andrew is a great speaker.
He really is.
He lifts it right off the page, and I had no idea there was a prompter at all until I saw it, because he's just so.
It really entertained me when we were interviewing him, and he was like, "Yeah, they really get nervous when I go off script."
Yeah, that's what prompted me. I thought that's funny, because I was just that morning watching him in the keynote speech.
Yeah. Speaking of good speakers,
thank you, Luke.
No, Hoop Dog.
Doggy Dog.
Come on, he kills it. And I think you told us last time we talked with you, your retirement plan is to be Hooper's admin. Was that what it was?
I mean, that's set
that was
up
a
for
goal
that.
in life.
It sounds like a decent sort of retirement gig.
Yeah.
Now, Hooper, I love Hooper.
Yeah.
He was one of the first guys I ever saw at Autodesk. I joined the Autodesk channel as a reseller in 2004. And Steve was working the UK Autodesk channel then, as technical sales. So he would come to all of our events, demos, product demos, customer talks, and just the way he conducted himself, the way he presented, the way he spoke, he just made the products sing, and everyone just got it. He said the right things, and he was the inspiration for me then going down the road that I ended up going down on.
Okay.
So it's he's been probably the biggest influence.
So do you think that he would be as good a speaker if he didn't have that sweet British accent that you guys have?
Always comment.
It makes me so mad. Like
so
you and Paul Mumford and Hoop Dog, I hear you guys, and no matter what you're saying, you sound more intelligent than anybody else.
Funnily enough, that's why I started my channel, because up until 2000 whatever year it was, I can't remember, 2014, I think I started the channel. all of the tutorials online were all done by Americans and so but it's just pretty robotic. Here's our workflow and the geometry.
Right.
Gotta click here and I hold a second whilst wait a minute, my mouse, I can't find my mouse. Okay.
You've made fun of my English quite a bit, if I recall.
That's probably a reasonable thing.
But yeah, it was either American hosts or just silent, no audio whatsoever.
Right.
So I came in with this exaggerated, ridiculous, over-the-top sort of presentation style. Yeah.
No.
It was. The early videos are absolutely horrendous.
I don't know if they're horrendous, but I remember we shared a video one time and someone was like, oh yeah, Neil got inappropriate at about minute 10. They're like, oh yeah, we need to pull that video.
We decided we had to start watching them the full way through then to make sure it was all kosher.
That happened about 3 years ago. Another one of the expert elites, he's a professor over in Pennsylvania. And he said...
Good state.
Is it?
It is. It's a great state. I love it.
I've never been there. Should pop over.
Yeah. Do you know what school?
Technology? I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. But he sent me an email and he's like, Neil, I use your videos in class to teach the students. And up until that point, I had no idea anyone was even watching them, never mind they're getting played in schools.
Right.
And he said, but I can't show certain ones because of your swearing.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Message received.
Yeah. And then from that point on, I stopped because now they're all over schools and colleges.
Right. So I wanted to take a quick break and go back to the expert elite thing, just for everybody listening.
Sure.
Like you were saying, there's tons of ways to get involved with the program and then to kind of work your way in. And I've nominated a number of folks myself just because I've known them from different activities that you're doing. So like you said, blogs, YouTube channels, the forums, all great ways. But social media is also another big way. If you're active on the different social channels, things like that, answering people's comments or questions on those, you start getting noticed by the people that are running these things. And like Neil said, amazing program, both for what you get out of it and even from an Autodesk point of view. Like working with the expert elites is amazing. They're all other than like some of them, like they're all very fun to work with. They're good people and like easy to get along with. And they're always willing to help with, be it beta testing, be it like questions you have about the software that you want to like pick their brain about the workflows. All in all, just an amazing program.
Yeah.
So if it's something that people listening think they might want to get involved with, it might take 2 years, but you can make it happen.
Yeah, there's certain
ways.
conditions as well. Like once you're in, you've got to obviously keep going with what you were doing. You can't just like put the effort in and get nominated, get it accepted, and then just sort of chill out and sit back.
Yeah, Paul said his says expert elite alumni now because he doesn't participate like he used to now that he's an Autodesk employee.
Right.
Well, you can't
be.
You can't
right.
be. But is an EE, which is it's shortened for expert elite, you also get discount for a lot of events, Autodesk events. So you get money off your ticket, you get invited to certain things with money off, and
yeah,
it's cool. A lot of perks. It's a really good program.
So you didn't teach any classes this year at Autodesk University.
Negative.
So two questions about that. One, did you go to any that you thought were really good, other than the moderating of the PM panel? Two, why are you so lazy and why didn't you teach something?
Oh, so yeah, last year I did the buying the right workstation for Autodesk Inventor class, and I put too much effort into it. I think I did about 4 months of research before, and the handout was about 80 pages long, and I felt like there was quite a bit of pressure to get that class right, because I'd been working for 2 years on workstation hardware and testing bits and pieces and stuff. So to find this felt like the final sort of dossier.
The crescendo.
Here's the findings for my 2 years of work. So I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I just didn't really enjoy the build up to the class when I was here, and it was a Thursday class.
So bad time.
I was just waiting around, and I couldn't relax once I got here. So I thought this year I'll take it. I'll take a year off.
Just enjoy it a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So other than the bad thesis experience, what classes did you enjoy this year?
I've only been to 2.
Oh,
I've only been to 2. You get there's all kinds of other things going on around here. So I've been to a Back to Basics class held by Mike Davis.
Okay.
You're welcome, Mike. Which was a good class. And then I went to the product managers panel, and that's it so far. I've been to a couple of the keynote speeches, and we've had various meetups and other gatherings.
What are your thoughts on the keynote? The D&M in particular.
I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Hoop Doggy Dog smashed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely smashed it.
What did you think about John Den Hartog's, the inventor?
Timothy Oliphant, you mean?
I don't know what that even means.
Okay, you Google him. It's the same guy.
He looks just like him.
He looks just like him.
Okay.
He did amazing. Absolutely amazing. And what's coming into Fusion? I mean,
Yeah.
it's the time-sensitive bit of information, but free generative design for over the next month or so, and all the new manufacturing techniques that's coming into it.
Yeah.
It just felt like it was just, and they looked really excited to be delivering the news.
Yep.
Hooper looked buzzing. Yeah, it was great. And the ANSYS collaboration as well, that looked really, really good. Am I spoiling future questions here?
No, you're good. You're
This
good.
was great.
Okay.
So speaking of that free generative until the end of December, I think it is, and you can run as much as you want and download those bad boys. It's not just run it. The download was where you paid a little bit more.
Because
so the fact that that's free is pretty cool.
Never mind. I'll stop.
So you're obviously a huge Inventor user, and I think some of the idea here is to take Inventor users who've never touched generative, or even Fusion for that matter, and get them to run their first generative study. What would be your piece of advice? Hey, now it's free. You don't have to worry about credits or buying anything. What would you say to that person to get them to try their first generative design
I'd
study?
say this is a double win for everyone, because yes, it's going to encourage the Inventor users to give it a shot, as long as you've got the collection. Obviously, you need the collection to be able to get into Fusion 360. But I would say the main win here is the fact that the deterrence for getting into generative design was always the cost of learning, because whilst you're trial and error in it, you're not sure how it's going.
And you're paying for it.
Is this something I really want to play around with as I'm paying for it?
And the cost of generating those designs and downloading them is the same whilst you're playing with it as to when you're actually a genius with it. So in the time period now where it's free, you've got free roam to just get your head around it, trial and error, get used to it.
Okay.
And then you can decide whether it's for you.
Yeah. So time for the shameless plug section of our show.
The shameless plug.
Luke was telling me all about an amazing thing going on the TFI CAD Tips channel. So if you go onto the YouTubes and Google TFI, probably that's all you need to do.
Don't Google Neil Cross, because we did that and you don't show up.
Really?
But there's an author called Neil Cross.
Yeah,
that's who came out.
Really. But if you look up TFI, you will find all of these great videos. And one challenge you're currently running now is the Infusion challenge.
Yeah, it seemed like a great name at the time.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore.
You're regretting that one right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you tell us about this challenge, how it works, the super clever name, and how you came up with that one, and then kind of explain how other people could get involved if they haven't been already?
Yes, James, I may. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
So the CAD challenge was just a way. It spawned out of the old Inventor World Cup challenge back in the mid 2000s.
Okay.
Which I participated in, loved them. It was a great way to get people involved, get people going outside the comfort zone, trying new things. And then that stopped sort of the mid 2000s, and nothing ever really happened again. I mean, there may have been, I just never heard of it, but I'm not aware of anything like that that's happened since. So I thought, you know what, I can just do a couple of variations of fancy models, which, it might be a bit tricky to create. Need you to experiment, dabble with areas of the software where you might not have otherwise have gone to. Guess you're thinking. So yeah, I create the model, I create a drawing, detail it all up, and then I upload it to the Autodesk viewer. So I just need to give out a hyperlink and everyone can go see it. And then the challenge is you've got to remodel it based on the drawings. I also give them the viewable of the 3D model, so you can take measurements when that bit's working in the viewer, and then you can have a go at it. So I've done 3 so far, and the 4th one is a bit of a riddle.
Yeah, that one, I watched your first video for that, and I was like, yeah, I hate Neil.
And the riddle is going on right now?
It's been cracked.
Yeah. Oh, it has.
It's been cracked. I can confirm it has been cracked. Yeah, there was a group of 6 guys over on the Patreon server that I've got, the Discord server, sorry. They got together, got their heads together, and then worked out the clues in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Which was entirely the point of it. That was the point. I mean, no one person really could have solved all of those clues.
It's like a scavenger hunt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I did one, and I got it.
One what?
One of his challenges.
Oh, one of the challenges.
Do you want the scoop?
Not this
Do
one.
you want the scoop on the first clue answer, the numbers?
Oh, if you'll give
yeah.
it to
Yeah, sure. It's been cracked now, so I'm going to do a video showing what the solution is. So the numbers, there's 3 rows. The first set of digits, just 1, 4, 6, 7, just a whole bunch of numbers, means absolutely nothing. People were thinking there was possibly GPS coordinates, so they were looking at that in Google
You're throwing
Maps.
some red herrings out there.
Yes. So a bunch of numbers. Then the second row of numbers was 180. That 180 was an instruction to reverse the first set of numbers. You do a 180, you reverse it. So you reverse the first set of numbers. The third row was negative 1111111. That's an instruction to subtract 1 from each of the numbers that you've just flipped around. Then you take each one of the numbers that you're left with and convert it to the letter of the alphabet.
Okay.
You end up with the word freeform.
Oh.
The next part of clue 1 is the finishing solution to creating the freeform. So, okay, I know I have to create a freeform, but what is it? Is it a torus? Is it a cube? Is it a quad ball? What is it? So the next clue takes you to an area where I'll finish this solution up in a proper video, but yeah, the rest of it's telling you how to then finish up the freeform.
So did the first clue have any more to it other than those numbers, or was it just a set of 3 rows of numbers and that's all you
That's
gave?
it. It was, and so
someone figured that out?
Yep.
I watched the video and I thought about it for a second. I started doing the GPS ID and I was thinking latitude, longitude, all these other crazy things. And after like 6-7 minutes, I was like, yeah, no one's going to get this. I hate Neil.
Yeah, for multiple reasons.
Well, yeah.
So anybody who's thinking about becoming an expert elite, all you have to do is come up with riddles like this.
Or make how many videos are you up to now?
Yeah.
450.
Make 450 videos on YouTube about Inventor Fusion and you'll be expert elite.
But future challenges, I mean, the ones that I've done so far, they are you can still have a go at them. The solutions have been posted because they've been wrapped up.
Do I win something for doing this?
Well, the next riddle, I'm going to possibly be working with some hardware vendors to give out some prizes for the winners, because it is quite the time investment to do these riddles.
Now,
I have a used Lenovo ThinkPad you can have.
Deal. That's a contractual obligation that you've just issued there.
Right.
So why do you think, because I remember you did the render wars, and that kind of went like this, and then people just didn't participate. Why do you think this challenge seems to be capturing? Because like I saw the winners on the last 2, and you had lots of people participate. So why do you think this one is doing so well versus the render war? Because the renderings were amazing that you were getting. You just weren't getting a lot of them.
Yeah. I think it's because it's all within Inventor. My audience is Inventor-based.
Yeah.
I mean, the challenge spans across Inventor and Fusion, hence the name Infusion. That's the splitting up of the name.
So tricky.
Yeah. That was very clever.
Took me ages to come up with that.
Very impressed.
But yeah, I think people just enjoy a challenge. They enjoy being tested, whereas the render wars was more of, if you don't do a render, you might work in a company that creates products that aren't all that aesthetically pleasing.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What do you submit? So I think that's why it's gone down quite well.
So I was really surprised by this, but I believe you actually have an opinion on the recent Onshape acquisition by PTC.
Quite right.
So in case people haven't watched the video that you did on it, which seems unlikely, could you give us a quick rundown of what you said there?
Yeah, so the news dropped a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, something like that. It kind of seemed apparent that Onshape was conceived to be acquired because the guy who formed it was the ex-SolidWorks CEO. He was, he's possibly thinking about his retirement, and it seems like a good deal for retirement.
Right.
Yeah, I looked at Onshape, but I can say all this because independent consultant.
Sure.
I looked at it a year ago and I wasn't impressed with it at all. It seemed missing a lot of key features, which would have been understandable if it wasn't priced at the point that it was at. It was sort of priced competitively to Inventor, whereas Inventor was on another level for getting stuff done. So to price it at that point was a bit strange. And then the whole CAD in a browser thing seems like a great idea, but Onshape don't control the browser that their software is delivered in. So if there's ever any issues, who solves the browser problems? It seems like a bit of a can of worms. So when they were acquired, I thought, okay, that's makes sense. Then I read the news report and then thought, 5,000 subscribers. That's okay. It's not what I expected.
You weren't blown away?
Not particularly.
Okay.
I mean, there's more people in this hall right now, I think. So it's a bit of an odd one. But for the price that they were acquired for, 470 million, it seems like more of an acquisition of infrastructure and people rather than the product itself.
They're buying talent.
Yeah, I think so. Because to be fair, I haven't looked at it in the last year since I did the original sort of first impressions, but it seems to have amassed a bit of a following over those 5,000 people. They seem quite passionate about it, but we'll have to see where it goes with PTC. Personally, I can see it just being kind of blended in with the PTC infrastructure, just made a module of one of their main flagship products, possibly.
Yeah.
I can't see PTC sort of running them both in parallel, keeping it as Onshape. I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Running 2 CAD packages in parallel, like that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I just my first sort of smack in the face was, 470 million for that many users? It's a bit odd, but okay, fair enough. I mean, it's good business.
Yep.
So we were talking about your videos before. You did one with Hoop Dog and Derek Cooper, and if I remember the title of the video, it was like putting it to bed or something like that. It was this idea where, and I hear this a lot as well. I'm sure you hear it. Is Fusion's replacing Inventor, and I think the idea of this video interview you did was to kind of put that to bed and get the answer from who's running Inventor and who's running Fusion. So if you could kind of recap that video conversation you had with Hooper and Derek.
So it started because Autodesk released the show reel, the design and manufacturing show reel.
Oh yeah,
which
I remember.
You texted or emailed me, and then I texted them, and then the whole can of worms happened. Yeah.
So the show reels, I love the show reels. Whoever works on them, genius. I love them.
Thank you.
And nope. But historically, they've been great, really great. In the design and manufacturing show reels, Inventor's always been center stage on that show reel. Over the last few years, it's sort of played side fiddle really to Fusion a little bit and all the other manufacturing products that Autodesk have. And then 2019 show reel dropped. Inventor wasn't there at all. It just wasn't. There was no side of it.
Right.
Which kind of fed into all the rumors that were going around at the time about Fusion taking over, and it just seemed to be the last piece of the puzzle. Purely rumors, obviously. So that's when I got in touch with Luke, and then things happened. I then seemed to get the attention of Steve and Derek, and
who's Steve?
Steve Hooper.
Hoop Dog.
Yeah. So those two guys got involved, and like, right, should we just have a chat about this and put it to bed, get this just over and done with? But thankfully, they redid the show reel and put Inventor back in it.
Oh, good.
Which was quite good.
Were you satisfied with? I watched the video a bunch of times, the interview you did with Derek and Hooper. Were you satisfied with the answer?
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Obviously, those guys can only say so much, but it seemed to me to put it to bed, and everything I've seen since seems to kind of correspond to what those guys were saying. When you come to AU and you see what the product manager guys have got going, the roadmap that's now publicly available, you see what they're doing sort of 2, 3, 4, 5 years into the future. They wouldn't be doing these things if they were thinking about making Inventor go somewhere. So,
Gotcha.
So yeah,
I think what you just said about everything that you've seen since then has really pointed in that direction as well.
Yeah.
I think that's a very important point. And I'm thinking just back to a few years ago, I was working on the Fusion community and gave an answer, which I think was pretty good, about Inventor and Fusion, and was immediately, we'll say, reprimanded about even approaching the subject. And it's fine, but there was a lot of time where we were just kind of like, just don't bring them up together. Don't talk about them together. No one will ever ask, I swear. And now at least, we can talk about them as what the path is for both of them, and that there's a clear defined path that they can coexist together. Yeah. And I think that people are really coming around to it. And so that whole is Fusion replacing Inventor thing is just kind of going away.
It can't be because of those
actions.
It can't be a taboo subject. You have to discuss it because new customers have to make the decision on which one to go for. So there has to be a discussion about which one is right for certain people. So it can't be a taboo subject, but Fusion is an absolutely incredible product. It's amazing. The stuff that Hoop Doggy Dog announced today is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So it's got its own roadmap. It's doing pretty well. And Inventor's got its own roadmap, and it's doing pretty well. So I think as long as Autodesk make a clear distinction in their marketing material as to which one is right for which person, and there's no sort of dodgy overlap in the messaging, I think they can coexist.
Yeah, I do too. And I think we can discuss both of them as well. And I think you went a long way in helping Autodesk to do that.
Yeah, cool.
So if you were a product manager here at Autodesk, let's just pretend for a little bit.
I hear there's one more job going.
That's right.
Let's just pretend you're a product manager here at Autodesk. If you could pick one thing, again, you're super opinionated, super upfront with the product team about what you want in the software, what you don't want in the software, what you like, what you don't like. If you had to pick one, and you can only pick one, what would it be?
So the company that I'm at the moment, we've got roughly 100 and something Inventor licenses. We've got a lot of guys using it. So I see a lot of the problems that people face day in and day out.
Okay.
For me, although the guys have done a lot of work with performance, making Inventor faster, just passively faster, optimizing the code, the back end, making things open quicker, save quicker, there's still a bit of work to do with feeding back to the user what's going on when certain things are having a problem. And one of the developers who's here, Steve, he said that that's sometimes more difficult than it first appears because you could possibly bog down the program even more trying to get it to report on what it's doing. And then that takes...
Rather than just seeing a little spinny circle.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's times when you open up an assembly and you sat there waiting for it to, churn away, and you're like, what is it doing? Like, where is the bottleneck here? It would be great if it could just tell me it's stuck on this particular assembly, or there's a particular constraint in there which is bad, broken. There's a sketch line in there which is unlinked itself away from an edge. Something like that would be quite useful. When you get the update prompt, when you open up an assembly, it says, oh, your assembly's out of date. Do you want to update it? Of course I do. But what is it updating? Why is it updating?
A little more info
am I
there.
updating a single part, or am I updating a 4,000 part assembly?
Exactly, yeah. So just a bit more feedback to the user, that would go a long way to just helping people understand what's happening for a start, but then where to go to fix it, because it's a minefield. Our assemblies are sort of 50,000 to 100,000 parts. So trying to sift through that to try and find out where a problem is. You've got like 20,000 constraints scattered across that assembly.
So when you're hitting that, do I want to update? It's like, am I going to go make a coffee?
Like, do I?
Or am I just going to go to the bathroom? Am I going to go have a smoke? What am I going to do when I hit yes?
Right.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So I'm guessing you asked Steve or one of the PMs or someone about that, or suggested it by now.
Yes.
What kind of response did you get?
The response was, which is what I said there, that it's not as easy in every case to implement something like that. The way Windows and Microsoft report issues back through their framework is sometimes the messaging's not as clear as it should be. And also there could be a performance hit, but that's fine. I understand that. But if there's any kind of effort that can be done to at least report something, even if it's only 10% of the things that you could possibly want to see, then that would be enough for me.
Also, if I was PM, I would delete Inventor Studio and put Showcase in there instead of Inventor Studio. Bring back Showcase. Make Inventor great again. If you want that, vote for Neil. Tweet to Autodesk, hashtag make Neil a PM. Make Neil CEO.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, I think that's about all the time we have. I don't have to go.
It's
but
your
you
show.
do.
You've got as much time as you want.
All right. So what else do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about you.
Okay. what
Yeah,
would
you
like
did a
to know?
great job presenting that PM panel.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, it was really good.
I
I
thought
really
he looked
controlled
like
the room.
I thought you looked like a slob wearing your
The
T-shirt.
green T-shirt. What's it with the walrus monkey gorilla?
Well, back in the day, we decided that we wanted a logo to use for a T-shirt, and a guy designed up the monkey for us. And we said, you know what? I think that's the winner, because the rest of his designs had real mathematical equations or punny phrases that weren't all that funny. And so we went with the monkey.
And we like the animals.
We like the animals. And then from there, we've just kept rolling. And then the walrus was last year, and he's got a pipe, so he's pretty
And
smart.
we got octopus this
We have
year.
an octopus
We'll get
this
you.
year.
We'll get you a shirt.
Sure.
Yeah, so just keeping with tradition.
I mean, I don't see the reference, but it's a good aesthetic.
Yeah, that's
good. It's
good
good
what
vibe.
we're going for.
I like it.
Okay, ask me a question now.
yeah.
What have you done so far today, you Luke?
This.
This just interviewing.
So I'll
Did
give
you enjoy speaking to Andrew yesterday?
So fun fact.
Was it the day before yesterday?
It was day before yesterday. So 2 years ago was our first year at AU, and we asked
Don't
Andrew
spill
that
the
year.
beans.
No,
Don't
we're
spill
going to
the
spill the
beans.
beans. So we asked Andrew. We sent an email, and I was super surprised by this. It was really cool. So 2 years ago we sent an email to Andrew.
To his
Admin. Assistant. Yeah,
Yes.
and we get pretty much an immediate response. Yeah, he's really busy. Sorry. So this year, James is out on sabbatical. He's traveling all over Europe on sabbatical, and I have to send the invite to Andrew for the podcast. And I was like, so I had my wife read the email 3-4 times, and I get the email together, and I'm thinking I'm going to hit send, and a day later, his admin is going to reply back and be like, no. I send the email. 3 minutes later, Andrew himself replies, says, oh yeah, this sounds fun. Just work with his admin. So I picked the time, and then we started talking again, and we sent him questions, and I just assumed he's not going to read the questions we put together. Read all of the questions we put together to make sure we were all on the same page, and we're basically BFFs now.
We are.
Fairly certain.
I'm pretty confident he's going to be
Well,
texting
besties.
us later to hang out.
I'm fairly certain.
Hey, James,
Yeah, he looked like he enjoyed it.
Yeah, it seemed like
was
it.
a pretty good
Hopefully
show.
he did. And we're not fired yet, and that's basically the goal.
Well, it would wait till after Vegas, I think. So
Please consider it.
You don't. Yeah, so it's not awkward.
So that's pretty much been everything we've been doing here, and it's fun. We get to talk to customers, we get to talk to some of our executives, and I think the coolest part about what we get to do here is we get to get our executives to kind of talk like we're talking right now. They're not up on main stage reading a teleprompter or anything like that. They're here having a conversation, and I think most of the people that listen to our podcast and listen to us online and Facebook, they appreciate that.
I'm impressed with the executives, the current line of executives at Autodesk. They're very relatable, very human.
They are.
Yeah, they're not sort of the fat cat politician type, people that you tend to see in big enterprises. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Fun fact, did you know that Andrew was the product manager for Inventor back in the day? Is that what it was?
I don't know what fact you're talking about.
I did. I heard he was the guy that called it AutoCAD Inventor Suite. That was his decision, and then I made fun of it a long time ago, and I've avoided him ever since.
And that's why Neil's not getting the product manager job for Inventor.
Oh, right.
Excellent. So now can we end this, or are we good?
I think so. Yeah, there's all sorts going on around us.
So
things banging and
do
smashing.
you want to give a shameless plug to some of your social and the things that you do before we go?
I hate social media.
Ouch.
Yeah, I do. I just don't have time for it. But YouTube's great.
Okay.
That's not social media to you?
No, I don't think it is.
You don't count YouTube as
No,
social?
I don't.
What is it?
It's a content creation platform.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
sorry, continue.
Continue.
Yeah. So www.tficad.tips or Google TFICAD tips. And that's my channel. Thank you very much. Subscribe, like, comment.
You don't have like
I
some
really
catchy
thought-
handle on Instagram or Reddit or...
I try. Well, I've got an Instagram, I've got a Twitter, but I just found trying to like manage and maintain like all those different channels. It was too much.
I tag
And how
you
do you-
occasionally on them.
If you're a
but-
video creator, how does that go into Instagram?
What do you mean?
Like, how do you promote videos on Instagram?
You can post links to YouTube.
But it just appears as a hyperlink. And
If it's a paid ad, it isn't. So if you put your money behind it, then you can click the link.
We'll talk later.
Okay, sounds good. All right, well, Neil, thanks a lot for doing this again this year. It's been a whole lot of fun. Awesome. Let's go grab a pint.
Thanks, Neil.
Thank
Bye.
you very much. Cheers.